Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. This is My Life as Taryn, and it's your girl Taryn. So you guys, if you clicked on this video, obviously you know what it's about. It is a story time on how I met my now husband, Ray Jones Jr. I get asked this a lot, how we met, or you know, whatever. So I was like, let me go ahead and make a video about how we met. So right now, baby's actually at the boxing gym. If you guys are new, or if y'all didn't know, my husband is a boxer. Legally, he is a pro boxer. So yes, he's at the boxing gym. I was like, let me go ahead and make this video. So anyway, you guys, for you guys who are new, me and my husband have been married almost a year. It'll be a year in August of 2022, and we have been together almost 2 years. So we actually kind of got married quickly, quote unquote, if you know, depends on who you're talking to, because y'all, Fantasia got married within 3 weeks, so it just depends on who you're talking to. But we got pretty much engaged and married under a year. So under a year of us dating and being together, we got married. So yeah, so without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get into how we met. Actually, you guys, it's crazy because I met my husband back in high school. Yes, in high school, John B. Conley. I want to say if we met, okay, so we met, but we didn't actually speak to each other, if that makes sense. So we met, but we didn't meet. So we knew of each other's existence. Like, he knew of me, I knew of him, we knew of the same people, but we did not know each other, and we never spoke not one word to each other. So we actually met junior year in high school, and I guess that had to be 2011 to 2012. Was that junior year? Yeah, I want to say that was junior year. 2011 to 2012 was our junior year. And I would always hear about this boy who was always playing around in the hallways, who was always doing the most, who was being super goofy and outgoing or whatever. I would always hear about it, and I would kind of hear his name, but he didn't talk to me. I actually had a boyfriend all through high school, from like 10th grade to semi-12-ish kind of. So you know, it's kind of like, you know, but you know, high school relationships, whatever. But anyway, so I would always hear about him. I would always hear his name being brought up in different circles. And y'all, I didn't talk to anybody, let's be clear. Like, I didn't have no friends. I did not sit with nobody really. Like, I was just kind of cool with people, but like nobody was my friend type, you know. So anyway, we would see each other all the time. Not all the time, but I would see him in the hallway. And I remember this one particular time I was walking in the hallway, and mind you, my husband's 6'4". I want to say maybe our junior year, maybe he was like 6'1", but regardless, the man has always been tall that I'm aware of. He's always been tall. I've always had to look up to him. And I stopped growing pretty much sophomore year of high school, so I've been 5'5.5" for a really long time, y'all. So anyway, so I remember this one particular instance. I'm walking down the hallway, and he's talking to somebody I knew. And so I look over, and he was laughing. Like, y'all, my husband is so goofy. So he was laughing, and as soon as he saw me looking at him, like, he stopped. Like, it went from all smiles to like, and I remember thinking in my head, oh, like, am I ugly? Like, bruh, why are you looking at me like that? Like, what's going on? Like, whatever, right? So I remember that particular instance, y'all, and this clearly was like 10 years ago. So technically, we're being technical here. I met my husband 10 years ago, but we were never formally introduced to each other. You know, we just weren't. Like, I knew one of his friends, Jalen, but we didn't even have each other on social media, y'all. We didn't have each other on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, none of that. So I really feel like it was a God thing, because if we had talked and met in high school, we would not be together today, because I would have thought he was annoying. If we're going back to like our high school selves, I would have thought he was annoying. He would have thought I was a mean girl. Not in the sense of, oh, she's mean to people, but just like, y'all know which word I'm thinking of, but I ain't gonna say it. That's what word he would have thought I was, which wouldn't have been true, kind of. Sorry if this shirt looks really big, y'all. It's supposed to be oversized, but this shirt is like a little more oversized than I guess it's supposed to come off as. And then the shorts are a little like shorter. I don't know, it's a set. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So yeah, we probably would have ran off of that thought and not really giving each other the benefit of the doubt, or try to get to know each other for each other. So I really am like glad we did not talk in high school. I'm glad we saw each other. I'm glad we are aware each other existed. And also when we graduated from high school, so at the time my last name was Johnson and his last name was Jones, which it still is Jones, duh. But you know, both our last names started J-O, right? And you know, when you graduate high school, at least I think they still do this, they put you in alphabetical order according to your last name. And I remember going like a long time without seeing my husband. I remember like hearing his name, and I always would like think about him in the back of my head, like, oh, I wonder what happened with that one guy who was always goofing off in the hallways. Like, I wonder, like, type stuff, just because that's what type of person I am, not because I was like, oh, he's so fond. I wasn't even looking at him like that, to be completely honest. I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like, I didn't think he was like, ugh, but you know, I just wasn't looking at him like that. It was just the simple fact that I remember like hearing about him so much, and then he just disappeared to me, which he actually didn't disappear. He was there the whole time, I just didn't see him as much. But anyway, so fast forward, graduation. I want to say we graduated June 1st, 2013. Fast forward to when we graduated, 2013. I remember us being like, you know, in the rows, and I remember it was time for our row to like stand up. Mind you, this whole time I have not seen this man, well, boy at the time. I have not seen him. Even when we were getting in order, like our class was kind of big. Don't quote me, I think there was like 600 of us that graduated that year. So we had a lot of kids, you know? So I didn't see him, but I still remember to this day when it was time to stand up, we all, our row particularly, when we stood up, I remember for some reason I looked back and he was literally one person behind me. There was supposed to be two people like in between us, but there were only ended up being one person in between us. And I remember looking back and I was like, hey, that's that one boy. Like, so to this day, I still remember that. I still remember seeing him taking pictures with his mom and his dad and his siblings, and thinking, oh wow, like his mom is really short. Sorry, Lovey. But I remember thinking, oh wow, his mom is really short, and like, oh my god, like his dad is super tall. Like, I remember thinking those things and being like, oh wow, I didn't know he had a baby sister. Like, just thinking those things to this very day. Like, I still remember that. And we've almost been graduated 10 years. It'll be 10 years next year. So fast forward, that was just to give y'all a little insight of, I knew my husband, but I didn't know my husband. Like, we knew of each other's existence. It's not like we just bloop, never heard of this person in a million years or anything that crazy. And besides, y'all, I live in Austin. Austin is actually relatively small, in the black dating pool. So if somebody crazy, you gonna hear about it. Like, it's small, y'all. Everybody low-key knows everybody. The black community in Austin is not that large, unfortunately. So it's just one of those things. So anyway, after that, I remember seeing him like 3 or 4 times after we graduated. Like, just different public places. We never spoke to each other in high school, so I wasn't about to be the weirdo girl who randomly speaks to him after high school. Like, I wasn't about to do that. Like, sorry sir. No, I remember he was a bouncer at a club. I remember seeing him at a club one time. This is when I used to go to the club. And then I remember seeing him at a gym somewhere else, maybe just out. So those times I remember seeing him. Of course, he does not remember seeing me anytime after high school whatsoever, which I give him the benefit of the doubt because my husband is 6'4". He don't look down at all. I think that's just a tall person rule that they got going on, but they don't look down. They look ahead and they occasionally look up, but they don't look down. I don't understand it. So anyway, guys, fast forward to the pandemic. The pandemic happened, and just like everybody else, I was in the house. I was single as a Pringle. Could nobody say I was their girlfriend. None of that. None of that. I have been single for a while. Of course, dudes had tried to talk to me, but yeah, I just knew it wasn't it. It wasn't it. I was like, nope. Next. Nope. Next. When you just know, I just feel like you just know, and there's not words to explain when something's it. Like, you cannot force when something is not it. Okay? Okay. So I always knew. And so the pandemic happened. I couldn't go outside, which I didn't go outside much anyway because I was a single mom, so I was mostly in the house anyway. I went to school, I went to church, I went to the gym, I went home. That was it. So me being me, I was like, okay, well, Taryn, you can't do this for the rest of your life. So my intentions, my New Year's resolution for 2020 was to get out, to go traveling, to, you know, take trips with me and Bailey, to get out the house. Because how was somebody gonna find me if I was in the house? Like, come on, I'm trying to be seen. So obviously the pandemic happened, everything was locked down, everything shut down, and I'm just like, oh wow, okay, my plan is not gonna happen. Like, I'm not going outside. Like, this is crazy. Like, you don't realize, and of course I know a lot of y'all understand at this point, you don't realize how much you missed outside until outside is closed, or you don't realize how much you missed the lockdown until the lockdown was over and you're looking back 2 years, you know. So let's try to live in the moment, don't take anything for granted. But anyway, so yeah, I decided, okay, I was so against getting on a dating app, but the dudes in my DM were garbage, in my messenger garbage. It was all garbage, okay. But I also really didn't want to get on a dating app. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was like, dating apps are for weirdos. Like, I ain't doing it. Yeah. Just talking crazy. Like, I was so against it. So against it. And I was like, but how do you meet anybody? Like, I really thought it was about to be my season to really date and meet my husband and do all that, right? Like, Lord, your girl almost 30. I think at the time I was 25. Yeah, I was like, Lord, I'm 5 years from 30. Where's my husband? I'm trying to have these kids. I'm trying to do stuff. And so it actually took me a long time to really get on the dating app. Y'all, when I told you I was so against dating apping, like dating apps, like, I was just one of those like women that was like, I refuse to do this. I was actually like, y'all, I had to pray about it, I had to fast about it, I had to consult, get wisdom. I called my church mom. I was like, I don't know, I don't really want to do this. Do you think God, you know, would he be okay? And she was like, Taryn, like, if you don't have any like strong conviction not to do it, then do it. He's giving you the okay. You just have to move forward. And so I was like, but people get on dating apps, they just want to hook up. I am not interested in hooking up, blah, 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 blah. And so after that long period of time of me procrastinating, I want to say it was around summertime, I just started to do my research. Like I was saying, I literally did a bunch of research on dating apps. Y'all gonna laugh at me, but that's fine, I don't care. I did so much research on dating apps and like which dating app was the best to be on. Like, should I be on a legit dating app or like a I guess like a dating website, and what is the difference? Because I'll be honest with y'all, that was not something I did. Even though I was young, like in my 20s and stuff like that, I never got on dating apps ever. Like, that was not my thing. I thought those people were weird, they just want to hook up with you. I think I got on Plenty of Fish right after my divorce, because that was the first time I had even heard of a dating app, was right after my divorce. So I think that was like 2016 or something. So yeah, I got on that dating app. That was a huge mistake. I got on there and it was like a bunch of like jerks and weird. I think that's like what originally turned me off from it. So yeah, that didn't work out. That was like 2016. So me being me, I need to know what I'm getting myself into before I get myself into it, okay? So I did like a bunch of research, like which dating app was the best app to be on, or should I be on a website, blah 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 blah. And so for me, I heard people were on Bumble. I heard that was a thing. I heard Black People Meet, I think that's an app. And then they got some like Christian ones, I don't know y'all. So I looked up a bunch of them, saw the different types. I tried like 2 different Christian ones because my husband, or the dude that could potentially be my husband, had to be Christian, not like a different, you know, religion. That wasn't gonna fly with me. Nothing against, you know, people that do that, but that wasn't gonna be for me. No, he definitely had to be Christian because that was my preference. He definitely had to be Black because that is my preference. Big nose, big lips. I was very, you know, I let the Lord know what I wanted, so that's what I asked for. So did my research, and the best one that I had found, what was it called? Okay, let's get back to the Christian ones. So the Christian ones, I had talked to a couple of dudes on there. Nothing really left the app because y'all, them dudes was weird. I ain't gonna front. Like, they were so weird. I was like, they ain't got no swag. Like, they don't know how to talk to women. Like, what is this? Like, I think some of them, like, what's going on? I don't think you're talking to the right. Anyway, so yeah, so I got off of there. I was like, this ain't gonna work. I want to say this was like maybe May-ish, so we're like in the prime of the lockdown at this point. And I was like, it's not gonna work. So I get off the dating apps. Then I want to say I got back on in like July, but I went to Hinge because I was like, should I do Bumble? But with Bumble, the woman gotta message the man first, I heard, and I was like, I ain't doing that. Like, no, who does that? Nothing against the women who want to do that, that's your business, but I wasn't doing that. So X'd out Bumble. I think I made an account with all Black, whatever app that is for Black people. There's an app, I don't remember the name of it. I think I made an account there, and I was just like, no. So then that's when I got on Hinge. You know, definitely, I think Hinge does like a certain radius. So the radius is generally people in your area and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, so it goes like out like a lot, but not a lot. So I met some weirdos, met some nobody really asked me for my number except for like maybe 1 or 2 people. That was a complete fail. Like, it was another reason to turn me off of dating apps. And I'm like, okay, Lord, so obviously you don't want me to be on here. Why did you allow me to make this account or any of these accounts? Like, that's where I was at. That's how frustrated I was. And then I talked to my church mom about it. She was like, Taryn, if you're going to pursue this, you have to talk to people. You have to like, and I was like, it's too much. Like, why do I have to do this? This is dumb. You know, they talk and then like it's not going anywhere. It's a bunch of pointless conversation. Like, I was through. And she was like, basically, you know, like, help me through it. She helped me through it, I ain't gonna lie. She was like, Taryn, you have to talk to people. It's not gonna be an easy process. Yeah, that's what happened. So Hinge was a fail the first time around when I did it. And I want to say that was around July, because like I said, I got off the apps because I would get frustrated so quickly. I think I would be on there for like a week and it would just not, it wasn't it. So I would get off. And then I got back on it around July, met some more weirdos, got back off of Hinge. And then I was like, you know what, I feel like I really didn't give it my all, because at this point I want to say got off in July, got back on maybe at the end of September. No, it was after Bailey's birthday. So I got on around October. But the thing was, I didn't have my notifications on because I would get so many and I just didn't want to deal with it. So I turned my notifications off, and yeah, that was that. Turned my notifications off, so wasn't really checking in. Mind you, I got back on in October, had been off since July, so was that like 4 months? Something like that, 3 or 4 months I was off of there. Of course, my profile was still up, but I deleted the app. So my profile had stayed up. I'm still getting swipes while the profile is down. Got back on mid-October, notifications are off. So I would get on there very occasionally. Like, it was like very last minute. I guess I'm winding down, not really doing anything for the day. So there would obviously be, you know, dudes who would try to talk to me, and they just weren't getting like the time of day really, because notifications off. I ain't paying this app no mind at this point. So then I remember I was like, okay, well, let me swipe through, you know, because I think there's like an X and then like a heart, or maybe it's like a plus. I don't remember. This was like 2 years ago at this point. So I'm on there and I'm swiping through and I'm like, nope, no, 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 no. And I'm like, wait a minute, I know him. He went to Conley. That was the tall dude who didn't talk. And also, so catch this, also on my preferences, because on Hinge, I want to believe you get preferences. You get to pick, like, I think there's like a range for certain things, because I had the free version. I was not paying for no dating apps, no. I had the free version, but with certain things you could like preference. So for me, I did not want anybody under 6 feet. That's a preference. I didn't want to be greedy and put 6'4", because I wasn't trying to narrow it down too much. But yeah, no one under 6 feet. No, I'm already kind of tall for a female. Not doing under 6 feet. So I had narrowed down, you know, my preferences to that, and I want to say potentially no kids. I don't remember. For sure African American. They had to be African American. That was a preference. Mind your business if that's not your preference, but that was my preference. So anyway, I'm swiping through and I'm like, I know that guy. I know him. Like, we didn't talk, but I know him. Like, you know. So I immediately, like, obviously time has shifted. This is like But I hadn't seen him since 2013. It was 2020, so there's like a, help me out here, like 7-year gap between when we graduated. No, because I actually seen him in 2016. So at this point, I remember it was at the gym. So at this point, there was like a 4-year gap. And I'm just like, oh, he a little muscular now. He got some tattoos. Like, oh, you know, he looked good. Like, and he had this one particular picture. If I have it, I'm gonna put it up on the screen. But this picture was like the winning picture that I was like, oh, he get hearts or whatever was like, you like the person. So I did that. And I saw like when you like somebody who also liked you, it showed like a match or something like that. And I was like, oh, he like me too. We like each other. Okay, I see where this is going. This is gonna work. Okay, cool. So immediately, y'all, I want to say that same day, night, whenever it happened, he messaged me. Yeah, I wish I had screenshotted our messages. I feel like, I mean, the account ain't, I don't know, I just deleted the app. I don't know if like it deletes itself within a certain amount of time or whatever. But yeah, I wish I had the messages. Like, he messaged me first, we started talking, and he was like, hey, did you go to Conley? And I was like, yes, did you go to Conley? He's like, yes, I thought you looked familiar. So we started talking about that. And again, you guys, like, not too many people had asked me for my number. That just was not, I don't know, I don't know if you could say those were like the people who just weren't interested, who just wanted to hook up or whatever it was. But they did not ask me for my number. Cool, whatever, that was very rare. So we would talk, and I remember we really started talking on Halloween, which sounds crazy, but like, of course we were talking a couple of days before that, but Halloween was like the significant day that we were talking. Maybe we had already exchanged numbers at this point. I don't remember though, the like real fine detail parts. But how he even got my number, this is the point, is because I had turned my notifications off, y'all. And I would forget, like, I got a kid, I'm in school, I forgot what else I was doing, maybe working, but I was busy, so I wasn't always checking the app. And so I guess he kind of got tired of that, or of us not really talking. So he asked me for my number. He was like, hey, you know, this is my number, blah 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 blah. And I'm so happy he did, because I was literally about to get off the app again. It just was not for me. I was about to get off the app. I was like, ain't nothing going on. And I literally had not been back on there very long, but whatever. So he asked me for my number, well, gave me his number. I texted him, but like, I was like, dude, like, if I text you, he's supposed to text back. Like, this is how it works. Because he would not text me for like real like gap periods. I was like, who does that? Who does that? But come to find out, he was working a high security job where he was not allowed to have his phone out or whatever, which after we really started like dating and talking, that's when I found that out, and we had that conversation or whatever. So that was cool or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much how I met my husband. Oh, and so this video is not sponsored by Hinge by no means. But I do want to say I appreciate their phrase or their like mantra, because I believe their like slogan is the dating app you get to delete because you eventually find the person. Let me look it up. I want to say that it's called like something like the dating app you want to delete or something like that. I'll Google it. Oh, so Hinge's memorable tagline is the dating app designed to be deleted. And it is. It's designed to be deleted. Yeah, all the other apps, I ain't gonna lie, they rubbed me the wrong way. Nothing against them, but you got the Tinder killer and all these different things. And so Hinge worked for your girl. I found my husband on Hinge after meeting him several years ago. It was all God ordained, just how everything came to be, because we were literally right in front of each other and we didn't know. We didn't have a clue. And that's how, like, I really feel like God works. Until you are ready for something, he will not always give it to you. Like, sometimes he will, and sometimes he won't. And I really feel like we had met, and actually, like, if we had spoken to each other back in high school, we would not be married now. So you guys stay blessed, you guys stay encouraged, and stay in the word, honey. And make sure, if you are not subscribed, you are subscribed. Hit that like button and leave a comment down below. Bye.
Yeah, it's just you and me. Bonnie and Clyde, yeah, we're so young and so free. Now we getting wild, yeah, they gon' talk about me, 'cause you are mine, so you better let them know about me. Tell me if you're down, would you take a bullet to the chest for me? I need to know. If you're riding, I'm dying. I promise you won't never have to wonder. If you're dying, I'm riding. Just know that you won't never have